Well, friends, there are times when you need a girl, well, to get the girl. And that's exactly what happened in this film I'm about to review, which is celebrating its 15th anniversary. Just go with it. But does it really deserve the hate still it got after 15 years? Or am I going to have to prove to them that they should still just go with it and enjoy this movie as is? Find out as I review Just Go With It right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2011 rom-com Just Go With It, released by Columbia, produced along with Happy Madison Productions, directed by Dennis Dugan, and is a loose remake of the 1969 film Cactus Flower. And the story was written by Alan Loeb and Timothy Dowling, starring Adam Sandler, who serves as producer of the film, along with Jennifer Aniston, plus supermodel Brooklyn Decker. It tells the story of a plastic surgeon who enlists his assistant to help him woo a sixth grade math teacher. The film was released on February 11, 2011. So, this is now I'm going to explain why, because I have something else lined up for the 11th, which is tomorrow. So, I'm celebrating the film's 15th anniversary early, after it had premiered 3 days prior in New York City. Now, this was originally to be titled Holiday in Hawaii and then Pretend Wife. But anyway, despite it got dissed by critics and what have you, it still became a success though. Let's get into the story. On his wedding day, Dane Maccabee overhears his fiancee admitting to her friends that she is cheating on him and is only marrying him because of his wealth. Distraught, Dane walks out and heads to a local bar. There, a woman approaches him but notices and asks about his ring. After claiming he is in an unhappy marriage, he wins her over. Years later, Danny is a successful plastic surgeon in LA and has improved his appearance. He keeps his wedding ring, using it to continue finding being in an unhappy marriage so he can seduce women he meets without having to face long term romantic commitment. The only woman aware of his scheme is Catherine Murphy, his office manager and a divorced mother of two. At a party, Danny removes his ring to tend to a child's scraped knee. Shortly afterward, he meets Palmer, a young sixth grade math teacher. They spend the night on the beach together, but Palmer finds Danny's wedding ring in his pocket the next morning. Palmer is furious that he apparently cheated on his wife with her, citing that her own parents divorced because of infidelity. Instead of telling Palmer the truth, Danny claims he is getting divorced from a woman named Devlin Adams after she cheated on him with a man named Dolph Lundgren. When Palmer insists on meeting Devlin, Danny convinces Catherine to pose as her and give them her blessing. After Palmer overhears Catherine talking on the phone with her children, Michael and Maggie, she assumes they are Danny's as well and requests to meet them. Danny convinces Michael and Maggie to go along with the scheme, though they blackmail him to take them all to Hawaii. At the airport, they run into Danny's cousin Eddie, who is traveling in disguise as Dolph Lundgren, while running from his ex girlfriend's new boyfriend. To maintain the facade, Danny and Catherine are forced to bring him along. At the resort in Hawaii, Catherine and Danny run into the real Devlin Adams, Catherine's frenemy from college, and her husband, Ian Maxtone Jones. Over time, Catherine becomes impressed by Danny and his way of interacting with her family. Danny, in turn, begins to develop feelings for Catherine. As Danny is preparing to confess his feelings for Catherine, Palmer asks Danny to marry her following day. having learned from a drunken Eddie of Danny's plans to get engaged. Though surprised by her proposal, Danny agrees. Whew. Okay, now I'm going to the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Palmer asks Catherine if she still has feelings for Danny, which Catherine dismisses. Catherine runs into Devlin at a bar and admits that she pretended to be married to Danny to avoid embarrassment, and Devlin confesses that she is divorcing Ian, who is gay. While Catherine is confiding in Devlin about her feelings for Danny, he arrives and announces he is not marrying Palmer because he is in love with Catherine, and they kiss. Palmer meets a professional tennis player who shares her interests, and Danny and Catherine eventually marry in the end. End of story. So, what did I think of Just Go With? Well, I have to say, this is easily an underrated rom com in my book. But overall, I've seen it a few times, and this has become a guilty pleasure. And I do think it's a pretty funny film. I do recall going to the theater to see this. I mean, now this marks another reteaming with between Sandler and director Dennis Dugan, who had also directed him in films like Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, and I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. But anyway, yeah, this was just so crazy. But unfortunately, upon its release, it got negative reviews. Rotten Tomatoes has this at a mere 19%, saying the film may be slightly better than some entries in the recently dire rom-com genre, but that's far from a recommendation. Metacritic has a score of 33, and Audiences Poll by Cinema Score gave it a B. The Telegraph named the film as one of the 10 worst films of 2011 list. They are saying it is a crass and overpopulated remake of Cactus Flower, which is a film I'm not too familiar with, served up as a mangy rom-com of serial deceptions. Christopher Orr of The Atlantic noted that the title itself seems a plea for audiences' forbearance as part of a disappointing trend involving the reimagining of good, if perhaps not quite classic, films associated with the latter 1960s and early 70s. Entertainment Weekly's Lisa Schwartzman wrote that the film is saved from utter disaster, though, by Jennifer Aniston, who has expert comic timing and plays like a grown up, while Nicole Kidman was praised by Pop Matters as the film's sole reasonable performance. Well, even after its release, the film was nominated at both the Razzies, the Golden Raspberry Awards, and the Teen Choice Awards the following year. Well, it got nominated for Razzies the following year because it was a late entry. At the Teen Choice Awards, it got 5 nominations, winning both Choice Movie Breakout Female for Brooklyn Decker and Choice Movie Chemistry between Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. It lost Choice Movie for Romantic Comedy, and Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston both lost, Choice Movie Actor and Actress. Now, as for the Razzies, on the other hand, Dennis Dugan won the Worst Director Award, which unfortunately also went to another film he did with Sandler, Jack and Jill, which of course Sandler was also in, which and was released the same year, just a few months later, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost sure of it. Yeah, this was released way after Just Go With. I'll talk about that later. It also got nominated for Worst Supporting Actor for Nick Swardson, who was also in Jack and Jill, and Worst Supporting Actress for Nicole Kidman, and Worst Screen Couple for Adam Sandler and either Aniston or Decker, but lost. Just be thankful it didn't get nominated for Worst Movie, though. But I'm seriously, I'm just playing with y'all. But despite this, the film did get to become another big success for Sandler, going on to make 215 million worldwide on its $8 million budget. The music composed by Rupert Gregson Williams is pretty good. It has a pretty good soundtrack where it blends in all sorts of classic songs to make new types of songs you wouldn't even notice, in a way. But of the whole, I found Just Go With to be pretty good. I mean, I like, well, the chemistry between both Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. They both did exceptionally very good. Yeah, the critics did praise the acting and the writing, but they were well, they had provided criticism for the plot and editing. Excuse me. But of the whole, I don't mind. I still thought this film was pretty good. For the cast, we have Adam Sandler as Danny. He's good. Jennifer Aniston as Catherine. She's absolutely incredible in this. I loved her performance. Nicole Kidman appears in this as Devlin Adams. I gotta say, she was pretty good. Brooklyn Decker, who of course was a big time supermodel at the time, played Palmer. I gotta say, she was hot. Nick Swardson as Eddie Sims, good. Dave Matthews as Ian. I was surprised to see Dave Matthews in a film. I mean, I'm serious. This, because apparently he had recently, no, this wasn't the first time he worked with them. He had recently had a little bit of a brief appearance in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. And then again in You Don't Mess with the Zohan, which I haven't reviewed that though, but of course I've seen those. But I also knew him from the family film Because of Winn Dixie. Let's see, now we have playing Maggie is Bailey Madison. Well, I think, reckon you know that name. You may know her of the now defunct Hallmark Channel series Good Witch. See, and well, and of course, this was just, well, she was already well known for appearing on The Haunting Hour, the series at that time. And then after this, she would play the young Snow White on TV's Once Upon a Time. Yeah, and of course, she's been in several other films after Just Go Away, including Parental Guidance and the Cinderella Story Starstruck. Let's see now. We got Griffin Gluck as Michael Murphy, who, of course, he later went on to appear in Why Him with James Franco, as well as shows including, let's see, Red Band Society, American Vandal, Lock and Key, and lots of others. He also appeared in Tall Girl and its sequel, as well as the freeform show Cruel Summer. Yes. So now you know about that. So anyway, and it does have other cast members, some of the people we've actually seen in some of Sandler's films. But anyway, from what I've seen of Just Go With It, I think it's a pretty fun film and what have you. But you be the judge. I mean, if you're into crazy rom coms and what have you, then I think this is worth looking into. I would only recommend you give this maybe a one time watch if you're interested. Okay, now I have checked my sources here. Cactus Flower. This was a 1969 comedy. It had the late great Walter Matthau along with Ingrid Bergman and Goldie Hawn. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll look into it one day and review it sometime down the road. We'll see. Yeah. But again, I would recommend you give Just Go With a one-time watch. But if you're a die-hard Adam Sandler fan or a die-hard Jennifer Aniston fan, then I'd say go for it. This film's worth looking into if you're a big fan of Sandler or Aniston's. But what did you think of Just Go With It? Tell me in the comments section below if you like this video. Click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And join me next time when I bring to you a re-review of the original My Bloody Valentine for its anniversary. So if you like this, check out my reviews of some of these other films I have recently done of Adam Sandler's. Here's two of them that he did with Dennis Dugan. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the 1996 classic of Happy Gilmore. Or you can go to the upper right-hand corner and see my re-review of Big Daddy from 1999. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Grown Ups from 2010. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.